Hello and welcome to the Wedding Dish Podcast. Grab your fork and knife and take a seat at our table as we dish on all things weddings. You'll hear stories and tips from real couples and wedding pros about love, life, and entrepreneurship. I, of course, am your hostess with the mostest on the Wedding Dish Podcast, Sarah Alapin, and I am also the CEO of both Photos from the Hardy and District Bliss. Before we get started, if you haven't listened to last week's episode, make sure you go back and check it out. It was so good. It was so fun. And I know you're going to love it. Thank you, everyone, for tuning into the Wedding Dish today. I am so excited for today's guest. We are talking with a master balloon artist and decorator known for transforming events into memorable experiences, the human behind the balloon guy, Sean Edwards. Thanks so much for joining me on the Wedding Dish today.
Thanks so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
I am so excited. This has been a long in the making episode, and I just love your work. I think you have such a. It's it's very much tailored to your clients, and also has like a personality of its own, which is so fun. I just think you are truly a master balloon artist.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I really try and work with all of my clients. I feel like we're one of the companies in this area, in the Los Angeles area, that really, I try not to say no to anything. I try to let my clients like really lead with their vision rather than imposing my own, um, design onto everyone. Of course, I take what people give me and turn it into what I think would look cool. But yeah, I really try and do custom stuff, and it makes it more fun because I'm not just doing balloon garlands all the time, you know?
Yeah, I love it. I think it's just really fun because you have such a cool portfolio too. It makes me want to like go to these events.
Definitely, definitely. I know. I know. I also would like to go to some of them sometimes, but like by the time we finish doing the decor and everything, I'm like exhausted, you know? I'm like
Oh
I've
yeah.
I don't think I've ever I'm trying to think. I don't think I've ever been to one of my events. I don't think so. I don't think so.
I would imagine it's physically exhausting as well as like emotionally exhausting to create some of these structures that you make and the like overall decor because it's not just blowing up balloons. It's like you're putting together a structure to support art.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, sometimes it's very involved. We've dabbled a little bit into doing sculptures recently, which is something I hope
Cool.
to roll out more of soon. And those are like incredibly time consuming and fun and challenging. And it's a lot of like experimentation with what looks right and what doesn't, and all sorts of crazy balloon distortion and tricks and smoke mirrors, whatever. I don't know what it is, but all of that goes into it, so it's pretty wild. Yeah.
I love that. So, what are some of the most creative or challenging wedding installations you've designed, and how did they end up coming together?
Gosh. Well, I feel like one, like anytime you're involved in a wedding, like the pressure is on because
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like probably the most important day in most people's lives, if not one of them. So I always take that really seriously. Um, And I feel like I said, I really try to let my clients tell me what they want, and what they're interested in. I will say, like, so I don't know if you know this or not, but I started as a balloon artist, right? So now I'm
I
like a
did not.
no. So when I was a little kid, my parents got me like one of those little balloon kits that are terrible. And I like the first thing I learned to make was a little balloon dog, which is now my logo. And um, and so yeah, so I started as a balloon artist. And so actually with weddings, like one of the coolest things I feel like that I've actually done is I've done most of I'm doing another friend too, but at the reception, I will actually twist balloon animals at the wedding, and it's like something you would never think to do at a wedding, which is actually really fun. You know, after people have dinner and everybody's dancing and drinking, and like I will come out and like, and I've done it for not just my friends, but but actual clients as well. But I'll bring like a little kit with like lights, and I usually make like big wearables. I'm pretty sure there's pictures out there, but I've made like giant like wings for like the brides, and like these like hats that like connect the bride and groom, or groom and groom, with like a heart in the middle, and like jetpacks and all sorts of stuff. So I mean, that is like one of my favorite things that I've done for weddings. But obviously the decor gets crazy as well.
That is so fun. I had no idea. And I think that would be, I mean, just imagine your guest, like the faces. I mean, you obviously can imagine this because you've seen it in real life. But for everyone listening, just imagine the faces of your guests because it has that childhood wonder
Yeah.
appeal to it. And I feel like your guests would love that so much.
I also feel like there's this point in every wedding where like dinner's over, everybody's been nice to each other all day and like happy and smiling, and it's like we're all drinking, and there's this sort of like okay, so now what kind of moment, you know what I mean? And I feel like this is the purple what am I trying to say? Perfect thing to roll out for that moment, or something like, doesn't have to be balloons, but something exciting and unexpected is great for that kind of moment that I feel like happens.
Yeah, I love that. And I love the whimsy of it. That's so fun.
Definitely. Yeah, people love it, and the pictures are amazing and last forever.
Yeah, I would imagine.
We've
I
done,
mean,
like we do other entertainment too. We do, like, caricature art and stuff like that, and a lot of people do that too, which is really fun. I've seen, like, bounce houses at receptions,
oh my
caricature
god,
art,
so fun.
balloons. Most people don't do the face painting thing, but, a couple have done, like, arm tattoos. Um, yeah. So, I mean, it can be fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I love a little, like, side experience that then
Mhm.
can, like, elevate kinda it's like a little bit of caffeine for your party, you know?
Totally, totally. Yeah.
Amazing. How can balloon decor be used to create a unique and memorable experience at weddings?
I feel like the no pun intended, but the sky is really the limit there, um, because I've gotten inquiries about weddings where people, like, want I mean, it can really run the gamut. For me, I would do something tasteful and simple and not overwhelm the wedding with balloons, because you want it to feel like a part of the celebration. Of course, the couple is the highlight of the event, not balloons, not flowers, not candles, nothing but the couple. So I feel like whatever I would do is to complement them, right? So like fitting their style, fitting the venue style, the vibe of the wedding, the colors should all complement and add value and add to the environment rather than take away. I mean, of course, when you walk into the venue and no one's standing at an altar, is what I think of yet, and you see a beautiful balloon arch that's garland and like so ornate and detailed and everything. I mean, it's going to be breathtaking, you know, but you also, I feel like it should feel like it belongs there, not like we moved it in there and made this big moment and there you go. I feel like it should feel like it's part of the. That's why I like to. Um, every Most of the stuff I do, especially big installations like that, we make a lot of the balloons ahead of time. We make the basic building blocks ahead of time, and we bring everything in. But then we spend a lot of time, and people don't realize. People think things are just delivered, but we spend a lot of time at the venue shaping and tailoring things to things like the light, things like the weather, things that you or the temperature in the room, the floors, even, you know, things you don't really think about. We try to frame everything so that it really um, feels like it goes together with the environment we're in. If
Yeah,
I
so you
answered your
have a
question. Yeah.
cohesive overall look to your event. I
Yeah.
think that that's really smart, where you're elevating it, but you're not detracting or distracting from the things that really matter.
Yeah. And I feel like you really, one of the first things I do is like I speak to the clients about what they want, what they imagine, what they envision for it, and what kind of style you want. You talked about whimsy earlier. I mean, there's so many ways to create whimsy I feel like balloons are that, you know what I mean? Something, especially I think of like helium balloons or like jumbo balloons and some of the installations we've done, like in pools, or recently we did one at a big studio for a makeup company, and it was like a what I would call a bubble installation, but it was with black balloons, and I thought that was really cool. I don't know if you'd want to do that at a wedding, but maybe white, and like having them throughout, the room you're in, maybe for the reception, or something like that for dancing, something hanging from the ceiling. We've done a lot of, to make a room feel much bigger than it is, and warmer in some way. So they really can add a lot of whimsy um, to your wedding.
I love that. I love whimsy at weddings because it's like an adult experience. Like going to a wedding as a guest or getting married obviously is like an adult experience for the most part. And bringing in those moments of whimsy where you get to like have the child inside you be so thrilled. That's just the best.
I love that. I love that, and I feel like it keeps it like w- what it's about too. Connection, something a really exciting day, a powerful day, an important day, a special day. And I feel like balloons definitely contribute to that.
Yeah, I agree. I love balloons. They're so great. Balloons and confetti.
Balloons and confetti. Yeah, they definitely go hand to hand.
What advice would you give to couples who want to incorporate balloon decor into their wedding, but they aren't sure where to start, how they can even like visualize this? What advice would you give them?
So I would say start with the venue. Start with where you're going to have the. Sorry, here's my dog just came in. This is Chan.
Oh,
He helps me with all of my important balloon decor and wedding decisions.
he's
Um,
so cute.
um, but yeah, I would say start with the venue and let it inform what you're going to do. Because if it already has a great altar, it already has maybe maybe there's a gap somewhere you want to fill. Maybe I've had it be where there's like a really ugly wall that, we've got to hide this kind of situation for the reception. So I feel like letting the venue inform what we're going to do is a great idea. One we did, some people wanted to create like just a sense of wonder as soon as you got there. So we did an arch from the parking lot through this like garden area, and we put like just an
Ooh.
arch in the garden. It was the only decor we did, but it was really cool, and people passed through it to where the ceremony was going to be, and I thought that was really cool too. It was like different.
Yeah, where it's like
So,
leading you into I can picture so many different cool ways that you could implement that.
yeah.
But it really sets the tone because it's one of the first things you see at the wedding. So
The other,
you're giving a sense of whimsy to your wedding from the moment people get out of their cars or an Uber or whatever it is, public transit, however they're getting there.
Yeah, yeah. I also feel like I would encourage people to, talk to 3 people in their area, and a balloon decorators, and get a sense of their style and what you like, because, everybody's a little different, and one thing I would say too is, like, and see what they would pitch you. See what if you have ideas going into it, share those, of course, but see what the decorator comes up with too, because that can really you'd be surprised how creative some people are with balloon decor. And the other thing I would say is customer service. Make sure they have excellent customer service, because on one of the most important days of your life, you don't want to have to worry that somebody's going to show up.
Yeah. Yeah, we were just talking about this. I was interviewing Kimmy from Paradigm Party Band,
Oh,
and we
nice.
were saying, you're also working with this person well in advance of the wedding. So your couples might be working with you periodically, like it's not a day-to-day conversation, but for like a year. I
Yeah.
mean, maybe more. So like it's the whole process leading up to the wedding as well as the actual day. So yeah, I'm with you. I think that was one thing we really did well at our wedding was choose people that we wanted to spend time with, who like knew their stuff and we could trust too. So I could not agree with you more.
Yeah, I think that's great advice, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Sean. This was so fun. I can't wait for everyone to see anyone who hasn't seen your work yet. I can't wait for them to find it and, or not find it, but see it. And where can they find you online?
Super easy. All of our socials are Balloon Guy LA, and the website is just theballoonguyla.com.
Perfect. And of course, we will link out to your website in our show notes and in the episode description. So it's super easy for you all to find Sean. That's theweddingdishpodcast.com. And you can find us on Instagram at the Wedding Dish Podcast, and we'll share some of your amazing work. I got to look at the pictures you submitted and I was like, I cannot wait for this episode.
Thank you so much.
Of course, of course. Thank you so much for joining me today. This was so much fun. I'm really glad that we were able to get together and chat a little bit. Thanks for joining me on the Wedding Dish.
Me too. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Everybody, have a wonderful rest of your day, and we will talk soon. Bye.
Bye.